quickly welcome on board Vivek Lohia, Managing Director at Jupiter Wagons. With regard to, of course, their expansion, their rather acquisition of wheel sets manufacturer and now expansion further to that acquisition, literally a 5x expansion in terms of capacity has been announced. Mr. Lohia, just with regard to demand, right, you're investing in 1 lakh wheel sets manufacturing capacity now. Do you believe demand for that kind of a capacity will hold up in your view?
Yeah, good afternoon. This capacity expansion, when we are undertaking, we are not only looking at the Indian market, but we are also looking at the global market in a big way. And our partners, Tata Wagon, have also invested in this project for the same reason. And, through them, it opens up the European market for us. And in terms of the Indian demand, definitely we see a big opportunity in India. As you're aware that we ourselves are producing close to about 10,000 freight cars annually. So our requirement is about 40,000 wheel sets. And the Indian market is expanding in a big way. We are already certified to supply for the Vande Bharat, for the metro business, for the passenger business for Indian Railways. And we are one of the major suppliers as an Indian company. So definitely we see a big opportunity in this segment for us.
And how quickly will this capacity come on stream for you? That's the first part of my question. The second part is what kind of a revenue number should you expect thereafter?
So we expect this, the capacity will happen incrementally. It will come in every year. But the full capacity, if you look at, and we are talking about revenues of anything between 3 to 4,000 crores, will be end FY27 is when we are looking at complete capacity coming in. And as revenues will be upward of anything between 3 to 4,000 crores of revenue, depending upon the product mix at that time.
All right, Mr. Lohia, this will also involve a significant investment, and you've said that it will involve an investment of roughly 2,500 crore. So I want to understand that how are you planning to fund this 2,500 crore?
So, again, these investments also will happen over a period of time. So to reach the capacity of about 1 lakh wheel sets, we are looking at investment of anything between 1,500 upward. And then when I'm talking about 2,500 crores, this includes further augmentation and capacity in future. So we plan to set up much higher capacities in future. We recently did a QIP where we raised close to about 800 crores. Then Tata Wagon partners have brought in another about 100 crores into the business. So this whole pool of the QIP money will go towards this project. We are looking to currently, in terms of long-term debt, we have zero debt in the company. So we are definitely looking to raise some debt for this business. And we have very strong internal accruals and cash flows. So which, the rest of the business going forward will not require so much of investments. So a lot of those cash flows will flow into this, into the wheel business for us.
Right, I take your point. You've suggested the wheel business to do roughly 4,000 crore in top line. For viewer context, you're doing slightly lesser than 4,000 crore in top line, FY24 numbers. And therefore, by FY27, just your wheel sets business will do 4,000 crore in top line. Is that the right way to look at this? And what kind of margins would wheel sets do? How much of this top line would be export? How much of it would be domestic? Roughly, I understand there won't be exact numbers to this, but roughly, what's the expectation like? And therefore, where will margins lie in the larger context of things?
So in terms of exports, again, it's going to be quite substantial. We are looking at least 40% of the capacity to be dedicated towards exports. Currently in the wheel business, this year we'll be doing upward of anything between 30 to 40% of margin, which will further expand next year. So fully integrated, we are looking at margins of above anything above 15%, definitely. And that's the nature of this business. And as I've already mentioned earlier, also FY 27 at a group level, we are looking at revenues of about anything between 8 to 10,000 crores, and wheel is going to be definitely playing a very critical part towards that.
Right. Mr. Lohia, I want to shift focus to the EV business that, you're foraying into, and you've received approval of ARAI in Q1 itself. I want to understand that you had said that in Q3, you will be starting the production for roughly 500 vehicles. What's the update there first, and what kind of revenues are you expecting from this particular segment, and margins also overall?
So, again, as we are definitely in line to launch end Q3, beginning Q4 around time. Again, we are very, very bullish on this segment. As I mentioned over that, we are launching with a 1-ton truck, but it will be followed by another 2 vehicles with higher payload capacities over the next 1 year. Recently, the government has announced the FAME 3 subsidies, and you can see that for the first time, commercial vehicles play a very, very crucial role in FAME 3, and government is looking at commercial vehicles EV commercial vehicles in a big way. So that definitely aligns with our strategy, and we have very strong expectations from this segment. And not only EV, on the battery side also, we have made tremendous headway. On the Vande Bharat, we have already got order books. We are looking at the passenger side. We are already doing a lot of development. So, we see a big opportunity in the coming next 1 or 2 years in this segment.
Okay, and how should that start to contribute to top line, say FY26, as you go full year into that business, and FY27, I guess you'll go into maybe 3rd or 4th gear with regard to this business. So how should one look at that?
I think right now it's a little early for me to comment. I think post October, November, when we launch a vehicle, I think, and when our strategies are much clearly laid out, and then I think we can start discussing on the EV business. But definitely it is something which we are very, very bullish on, and which we are looking at very, very seriously.
All right. Mr. Lohia, yesterday there was a review meeting by Nirmala Sitharaman, and, she said that around 434 railway projects will be identified under PM Gati Shakti, and around 40,000 rail bogies will be converted into Vande Bharat standards. So, I want to understand that, out of such a significant, capex that, the government is allocating for all of these things, what quantification of orders are you expecting? And overall, how much of a revenue uptick will you expect from these orders?
No, so we are very, very bullish, as I have mentioned. And, if you look at a product portfolio, we cater to the entire segment. We have all the braking products which are there. We are already supplying couplers to the Indian Railways. So if you look at the, upgradation of these 40,000 coaches, so they are looking to introduce again semi-automatic couplers here, where Jupiter is going to play a very important role. Further, in terms of the braking technology, as you're aware that we have very strong joint ventures with companies like Daku and Covis. So again, wheel set, as I mentioned, is something which we are looking at in a big way. On the freight side, government has already announced after the DFCC is going to be commissioned this year, government has announced 3 to 4 new corridors, and they are investing substantially on the track infrastructure. So we are expecting the order book momentum to sustain on the freight wagons, and we are seeing again very strong uptake from the private side also. So overall, I think we are very bullish, and we are completely aligned to the entire ecosystem. So when they talk about when the FM talks about allocation to the various projects, I think whether in a small way or in a big way, Jupiter will be part of all the segments.
Okay, Mr. Lohia, I want to zoom out a little bit, right? Demand traction is extremely strong, is what I gather. You're foraying into EV. May be difficult to quantify right off the bat how that strategy is going to play out in terms of numbers. In terms of growth itself, you're doing 1,000 wagons a month. You're confident of selling 10,000 wagons in FY25. So growth on the wagon side is solid. Growth on the wheelset side expected to be strong, FY25, FY26, FY27 onwards especially. How should one see the 3 to 4 year journey for Jupiter Wagons? High growth, of course, but what's the kind of growth one can expect? Is it a 25% growth you're gunning for over the 3-year period CAGR? Margins roughly 50-odd%. Is that the correct assessment to make?
So again, for me to quantify growth, again, this becomes very difficult. But as I've mentioned, with the wheel business kicking in, by FY27 end, we are looking at revenues of anything between 8 to 10,000 crores. Margins, if you see Jupiter over the years, we have consistently grown our margins. And as we keep on getting more and more integrated, and we keep on adding more value-added products, you will see the margins improving. So definitely, in terms of percentage, again, very difficult to quantify, but the growth momentum will definitely continue, both in terms of the top line as well as in terms of the margins.
All right, Mr. Lohia, it's going to be interesting chatting with you in October, November, once the EV business kickstarts for you, and more visibility on that count will obviously help. But thank you so much for giving us all the visibility that you could give us. Of course, 8 to 10,000 crore is no mean feat, because you're currently doing 3,650 crore in terms of top line in FY24, and therefore will be substantial jump. But great chatting. Thank you so much. Great perspective.
Thank you. Thank you.